Friends, hello and welcome back. The NHL 23 season is here. It is day one. We've just gotten on the hut. Probably spent, 45 minutes to an hour on it, browsing through some things. This year, I think what we really want to do is we're going to see how good of a team we can build up here, not buying any packs with money, period, this year. I need challenge a little bit. It's not really, to me, it's never really been difficult making coins off the auction house. It's more so that I'm lazy. Just being completely honest, not even lazy, just don't even have the time as much as I used to either to sit there and grind the auction house. But you know what, I think that could benefit everyone, right? If I can find a way to quickly make coins with very minimal time, that means anyone can. So, you know, it's a bit of a challenge this year, but I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we can help you guys out with that stuff as well then. But today what we're doing is we're just walking through Ultimate Team. It's day one. There's a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of good things, a lot of bad things you can do early in this game. You gotta have patience if you want to see that stub, or I'm gonna keep calling it stubs. We've been playing Diamond Dynasty for the last 4 months. We're calling them stubs. Well, a lot of things you can do to maximize your coin balance and so forth. We're gonna get back to the sets, I think. For now, let's just talk about the basic just the things as far as the collection, some basic things early in the year. First and foremost, it is important. It does take some time. It is a bit of a time. It's a little bit time consuming, but it can be a little, I can understand, be a little frustrating going through your team collection and individually selling every single player. But early in the year, that is exactly what you need to do. Especially because for a couple reasons. One, early in the year, some players go for a lot more than others because, well, 82s, 83s, some are going to go for more than others just because it's early in the year. And then there's some cards that are just really rare in the auction house. You're going to see some lower overall guys that just aren't up. See if this hits. Yeah, that hit. Exactly. Perfect example. And there's going to be people that want to complete these team building sets. And guys like this, you can make a lot of stubs on 2K, 3K, whatever you want to put them up for. That really should only be going for like 750, 800 coins. And because there's none up, you can string them out. So these guys that are the lower overalls right now that aren't as common in the featured packs or not as common in the pre-order packs that people are buying right now, this is a golden opportunity to take some of them, and it's a golden opportunity to sell some of them. As far as the 80-81s are concerned, again, most of them kind of cheap. They're not really going for as much, but again, it doesn't hurt. It depends who you're looking at. Again, pay close attention. One thing you look at, again, synergies mean a lot. Fly the Zone and Distributor are typically the ones that hold a little bit more value, especially when they're higher overalls. But there's also guys you just have to watch for as far as skates concerned. Kasperi Kapanen is a primary example. This guy has an electric 90 speed to start NHL 23 as an 80 overall. And he's got a good face-off synergy there as well to go with it. He can't win face-offs, to say the very least. You put him a wing. Face-offs ain't the hottest, but yeah, you're seeing it. There's a reason he's going for 3K right now. People are going to cash in on that early in the year when there's not a lot of options, not a lot of fast guys. You got a chance to speed that team up real quick. Kapanen's going to be a guy. Kapanen's going to be a great guy. I mean, if you want to play the auction house game, he's one of those guys you have 59-minute mark and hope somebody doesn't pay attention. You buy him for a K off the auction house and you quickly flip him for 2,500 or so. Let's continue on here. So we love these 78 and belows right now. And after we get past that, things get a little interesting. Things get interesting because of the sets that are out this year. It's a little bit different, but again, a lot of the same concept. Now, one of the things that is different you have to pay attention to is the exchange sets. Last year, you could exchange your common players or your rare players, your 80 pluses or 80 below pluses, into separate categories. This year, they're all thrown into one category. You can see the gold upgrade exchange. Gold players for 2-player premium pack. There's 10 of them. Any of those 10. Now, there is a couple more variations here later on. But that means when we're looking at players on the auction house, you can pretty much buy anybody. It doesn't have to be 80 pluses to fill this set. It can be anybody that is a gold player, which means I think right now you're getting some good deals on guys that are 75, 76 overalls because they can be used for this collection or for this set, and people love doing their rerolls. Personally, it's not something I'm doing. You know, if there's something to watch out for, you don't do the rerolls. Not for players that are sellable. The odds aren't in your favor, and more importantly, it's just, again, it is your choice to do whatever you want in this game. But early in the year, even if you pull Crosby, for example, he's an 86 overall. Maybe it took you 50 of these gold players to get him. You could have sold those gold players, made some stuff, bought a player. Maybe it would have been cheaper than that Crosby. Maybe you would have made more than Crosby. But in a month from now, 2 months from now, you know, those cards aren't as good. they're just not as valuable, and you put all those stubs in those or coins into those guys, as opposed to just selling those players outright in the auction house and then buying them. You know, buy the Crosby. He won't lose as many coins that way. At least you can sell him down the road. Now, that being said, if you have untradeable guys, different story. Have at it. Have a heyday. You want to throw your untradables in a reroll? Hey, go right ahead and do what makes you happy. But 700 coins, I like this. I really do. I think you see these guys once things start to dry up, especially. Now, these are AHLers. I would be more so targeting NHLers. If you can get NHLers, because again, they're really important for the collection. So if you can find some NHLers around that 800 range that are the 75, 76s, you know, that's something perfect. The 59-minute mark earlier, that's something I'm personally going to be targeting. It's just looking for the NHLs, and you can filter that. You used to be able to filter that. Where's it at? Oh, leagues cleared on. Oh, I was all confused. There it is. There's league. There is actually, there's two up right now. Aiden Hill or Dio is one of these guys. Yeah, sure, we'll buy it. Why not? Gotta back ourselves up here. Well, did they move the buttons? You don't just spam A to buy it now? Did I see that right? Did they flip them upside down? I think I seen that right. Of course, there's a bazillion couple of these guys up, but you know, I got faith. I have faith they'll go for 1,500. You know, we'll see what happens. But watch this. We're gonna buy the other one just cause. Buy now. Yeah, they confirmed the price. Was it always like that in the past? Somebody already bought it. They beat us to it. But exactly, I love that. That's a good way right there. And you can sell again 800 to 1,500. We'll see where it fly or the range is. I think that's reasonable. 800 to about 1,300, 1,400. You can get possibly 15. Some of these guys go up for even more. Especially early in the year when people are doing team building sets. And again, they're not as common in the packs, and so you start seeing pack days. Now, when pack days come out, of course, guys are going to go down a little bit. But I like that. I like that price range right there for those guys. I feel really comfortable about those. As far as the 82 overall player exchange for an 83, I don't know if that makes the 82s much more. I'm still selling my 82s. I don't know how many people are going to buy into this because it is only guaranteeing 183 overall. It's not that big of an upgrade, and not for 484 or 482s. Maybe early in the year it is, not down the road. Again, the same with the 84s for the 85s. You get right now, I mean, what are 84, 85s right now? Personally, again, now that we're talking about it, we're selling them. You're selling the 83s, you're selling the 84s, you're selling the 85s. Almost forgot that part in the video. I'm selling anything over an 83 plus right now. That is the way we're going about it. Anything over an 83 plus, out the door. That's a gold card. Now, if you get a more valuable player, that might go for a little bit more. That's something that's in packs. That's an 86, 87 plus. Maybe he has a good synergy, and he's cheap right now. That might be a good one to buy. Say, okay, we'll play with him a little bit, store him. Once he dries up from the auction house, not being in packs anymore, then, you know, go ahead and go after. But those are still few and far between. They got to have a good speed, good synergies. Guys like that we look for. But we came for the 84 plus. I feel like we're throwing a lot out of in this video at once, but I'm sorry. If there's questions, comment them down below. We'll try to keep up. But just, it's early in the year. I'm trying to remember the things I wrote down, you know, to mention to you guys. And then it's like at the same time, it's like all this other stuff starts popping in my head. Like, oh yeah, don't forget about this and this. And it's like, oh, this comes up, and it's a lot. There's a lot to remember. But once you get used to it, I always try to tell people this, once you get used to the way the auction house works and the price of things, it becomes a lot easier. It's a lot at once. It takes a lot to get used to the prices, but once you do, it becomes easy. It becomes second nature to you. And it just, again, it's so, I don't want to say easy, but it's a lot easier for you to go ahead and make a lot of coins quickly just by understanding how things are going. But let's take a look at these 84s just to not be rambling off of absolutely no statistic at all. 10K. I think they're under 10K. Yeah, they're under 10K. Are they under 5K? I'm trying to think now. We just listed our Martian. I want to say we listed him for like 5K now that I think about it. Which is reasonable. 84s, they don't need to be going for that much more. Yeah, there's 27 of them there. But again, 4 of them, you're talking 16, 24, 32K. I don't think you're paying that much for an 85. I mean, you can if you want, but you're not guaranteed the 85 that you want. Yeah, 6K. I mean, 6K ain't bad. 6x4, that's 24K. Now, how much is an 85 overall would be the next question. There's 3 of them, so that's 18K. It's not horrible. I actually like that. I think in that case, it could be good and beneficial. The way I'm going to be looking at this personally, I'm going to look how much an 85 overall is going for. The average 85. If I can get if most 85s are going for 20K plus, and I can get 3 84s for 5K, and that's 15K, I mean, sure, go ahead. The thing is, it's untradeable. So again, not really worth it in my opinion. But I think if you can get these players for 5K, you can get them for 4K. I do think they might dry up and people might say, okay, I want to do this set, and then you can resell those 84s. That's the way I look at the untradeable stuff. I'm not really looking to keep them. I'm not really looking to do the sets. I'm looking for how much other people are willing to do them, and if we can go ahead and capitalize on that by reselling the items. Let's take a look here. Different this year as well. Not the training camp sets. It is, and I like this. That's not the team building sets. Try one more time, buddy. One more try. You got it. You got it. Where's it at? Icon sets. That's what it was. The icon sets this year, we're seeing that icon players are actually worth something this year. So be careful. In years past, these icon players are worth nothing. There are now sets out for these guys to do and collect the icon players that I think, again, will make these guys more valuable. Now, again, bear in mind, I don't think they're going to be substantially more valuable because, you know, at the end of the day, the golden ticket here, the prize that you want is the 86 overall. That's going to cost the most, but you can pick up 4 icons. It's going to bump their value compared to being what it used to be quick sell. I think if you got a guy and he's on the auction house for quick sell, he's for like, you know, say 900. It's like, I just wait. I think his price will go up slowly a little bit. Again, not substantially, but things to keep in mind. Things to keep in mind early where people aren't paying as much attention, and there's so many packs being ripped that they're flooding the market. So it's like, oh, okay, they're cheap. I'll get them later. And well, packs stop getting ripped as much. You start to see this stuff dry up. They're not as common, and all of a sudden they're going to be worth a little bit more. Especially people that want to complete these sets. You know, especially ones like the New York Rangers one where you got you might have heard of him, Wayne Gretzky, possibly. Now, granted, a lot of this is just to exchange these players from one, you know, version of their team to another. I think it opens the door. I think we're gonna see. You got to be mindful of it right now. See, this is the thing. If you got players to lay around and stash, I'm looking at this and saying it wouldn't hurt to leave a couple of them in a collection if they're worth quick sell, and possibly stashing if EA expands on this, because this is the first time we're seeing the icon players be tradable, and I think that it's worth investing or at least holding on to them and seeing what happens. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because it is, again, it's just changing the jersey, it's changing the team thing, but people are going to do that. I'd love to do it. I'm all for it. You know, I like to change teams back in the day. That stuff does cost a little bit. What else do we got here that we want to cover? Hut champs, ain't worried about it. Season rewards. What are the season rewards looking like? I'm assuming that nothing is power up icon choices. Is this tradable? Exchange seasonal collectibles for a power icon up. That can't be tradable. Oh, it says untradeable right there. Okay. I'd say most of this stuff's untradeable. Do what you want to do with it. You know, spend your collectibles the way you want to. Do try to log in every day, though. But I think that's it. I think that covers what we want to talk about early on in the year. Again, I'm selling, and the lower overalls, I'm interested in them if you can flip them. Love you guys' thoughts. Hope you guys found this video helpful. As always, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.